All right, we're going to practice doing our first Photoshop project. In this project, it's going to help you learn a little bit more about different types of layers, how to add photos to your document, how to alter the size and scale of them, how to use colors, add filters, and we will begin. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go to hover over your lower dock, double click on Photoshop or click on Photoshop, and it should bring you here. It should be saying welcome back since you have already done a tutorial. Now there's a couple ways for you to do the same thing. You can either hit create new or you can go to file new. The other thing is if you're starting in the middle of a project, you can always open a previous project. So create new, I'm going to click here. Now, it's going to ask me a couple of different things. Do I want to do custom or default Photoshop size? This would give me a 7 by 5 inch piece, and we would rather do something larger so when we print it, it can take the full printer page. So when you title your stuff, I would like you to always put your last name, not mine, your last name. This time, we're going to call this Photo Alter, as in we're going to alter our own photos. I'm going to do 10 inches wide by 8 inches for height. So it'll look like this. Resolution should be 300 because it's a high quality image that we're working on. From here, I want you to notice that it says background will be white. That sounds great. And we can go ahead and click create. So here we are in our first layer is white. It's called the background, and this layer is locked, which means we can't alter this bottom layer because of the lock. That's fine. Everything we're going to do is going to be on top. Now, when you go to your view, I want to make sure your rulers is clicked, and most likely it's not. So view, click on rulers, and then you should be ready to go. Your first step is to take hover your mouse over the top ruler and click on it and drag it halfway, which happens to be the 4-inch mark. You're going to take your mouse, hover over the left side ruler, click and drag so it ends up in the 5. So what we did was we created 4 equal quadrants, and we're going to put our picture in this area. Okay, that means we have to take our photo. And in that case, you can go click up here and you can either look up photo booth, or you can hover over your launch pad and find it that way. So there's 2 ways to do the same thing, but we're looking for our photo booth. We're going to click on that, and that's the last photo I took of my family. If I wanted to, I could take a picture right now, hey, but I'll just go ahead and use the one with Ellie and my dog Vinny. So I take the picture, I click, drag, and I can drop it into my document here, or my Photoshop document, and that allows me to get started. But you're probably noticing a couple of things. First of all, this is very small, so we're going to edit this size a little bit. This first button, this is our move tool, and when you click on it, allows us to move things around. When we're in this, notice that we just added a layer. I want this layer to fill this box. So the first tool I want to teach you how to do, or teach you how to do, is edit, transform, and scale. We're going to edit the image, we're going to transform the size, and we're going to refer to it as the scale. When it's here, I can click and drag this into my lower corner, and I can click and drag so I take up the whole space. Notice that Ellie gets cut off a little bit. That's okay for this image. I'm going to hit return, and so there we fit. The next tool I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. It's called a rectangular marquee tool. That's the formal term. But when I select it, it's going to look like little ants are marching around. And I'm going to grab it from one corner to the opposite corner. And what I'm going to do is a shortcut called Command C for copy and Command V for paste. And so now all of a sudden I have 2 layers. Check it out down here. I've got layer 1 and layer 2. They look exactly the same. So I have to go on over to my move tool, and I can take this second layer and I can move it over to fit in that next box. I'm going to hit Command V again. So I get my 3rd layer, and Command V for my 4th layer. So notice here I have all these different layers. Once I drop this in the spot, now I can do some alter. Common mistakes my students make is they forget how and which layer they're on. Because layer number 4 is altered, this would be the first one I can play around with. And I want you to work with 2 different techniques. I want you to alter with colors, and how to do that, you would go to Image, Adjustments, over to Hue and Saturation. And that is where I can move this. And remember, it's this box that's going to get altered. I can change Ellie and mine and my dog's colors, which is kind of fun. Whoa, we kind of look like Oompa Loompas. Okay, what do we want to do here? Love me some turquoise. There we go. All right, so now just that layer changed. Let's play with another layer. I'm going to click on layer 3, which is here. The second tool I want you to play with is your gallery. So learning how to adjust and play with your different galleries, filter galleries. So there's this filter button. So you'll go down to filter gallery, and this allows you to play around with it. Now, right now it says 100% down here. That's how we can look at it. And then you can click on these. I can make myself look like we're cutouts. Oh, I really like that. I can do dry brush. I can make it look like we're a palette. I can make it look like we have brush strokes or angled brush strokes or splatter, which really distorts us, or I can give us some cool outlines. I'm going to go ahead and play with this ink outline for this one. Once I like it, I click OK. And now this is altered. I'm going to hop up to this layer. I'm going to go to my layer or filter gallery. Now there's 2 of them, right? And this one will take me back to what we just did, but I want to play around with more. I really liked my artistic one. I love this cutout. Yeah. Okay, I'm dropping that on top. Okay. And last but not least, I want to be on this layer, which is layer number 1. So I have to click and make sure I'm on that. So layer 1, I want to alter my color, because right now this composition is not balanced whatsoever. So can I do both? Absolutely. I'm going to go to my filter gallery. I'm going to go down and look at some of my other options. Let's make it whoa. This made it look black and white. That's pretty fun. Let's look at what that looks like. Okay. So this is black and white. This is color, or these are the natural colors, and this is definitely altered color. You have to sit and think a little bit from a design standpoint. Do these 3 look balanced? Would you want to go in and alter anything a little bit more? That's up to you and your decision making. But that's how I would like you to spend today's class, is getting a selfie, putting it in there, and playing and learning a little bit more about our filter options and how to alter your colors. I'm going to sign off right now, but I want to make sure you know how to save. So we're going to go to File, Save As. And here's some things I want you to know. PSD stands for Photoshop Document. Where are you going to save it? I don't want it in your documents. I'd actually like you to put it directly onto your desktop. From here, it should say Format into Photoshop. That's perfect. You're going to click Save. It always will ask you this, and you will always just click OK. And then you will notice when this, if you close out, I'm going to close out all my stuff I got here, you'll notice that it is now saved on my desktop. All right, have an awesome time playing around with these colors and filters. Good luck.